What's up guys, welcome to the Macintosh Review. Today Apple released the first beta of iOS 11.1. Really impressed and excited to see this released by Apple to developers so early, guys. I mean, we just got iOS 11 last week, and in this video I just wanted to run through the features, performance, and bug fixes included in this first beta of iOS 11.1 for you guys, so let's jump right into it. So I do have iOS 11.1 installed here on my iPhone 6s, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the actual download itself. As you guys can see, iOS 11.1 actually came in at 1.96 gigabytes on my iPhone 6s. Pretty big update, actually, and before updating, I actually had 54.38 gigabytes available. After updating, I had 54.38 as well, so it did not actually change the storage at all, which is very coincidental. I've never had that happen before. Now, it will take some time to download, but it actually is worth it in terms of performance. I'll go ahead and show you guys the Geekbench here. Before updating, you guys can see that I actually had 1678 single core score on my iPhone 6s and 3149 multi-core score. Now, this was on iOS 11. I did not update to 11.0.1. And then on iOS 11.1, I had 2178 single core score and 3804 multi-core. So both went up significantly. Very good update there. So I'm going to start with the features and I'll get a little bit more into the performance later in the video. So the first thing you will notice in iOS 11.1 is that the lock screen animation is just a little bit faster when unlocking your device. It's very fluid and you won't really notice it unless you have an iOS 11 device side by side, but it is a little bit quicker. Now they have also removed the haptic feedback you get when you actually type in an incorrect password here. I hope this is just a bug and I hope it's not a real feature, and I hope it will come in a future beta, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't like that they removed the haptic feedback there. iOS 11.1 also has a new camera animation on the lock screen. If you swipe to the right here, you can see how it kind of zooms in very slightly. I'll do it again. And that's a little bit different than the iOS 11 and 11.0.1 animation. Now, a feature that they have re-included into iOS 11.1 is actually closing applications midway. Now, what this means is when you go ahead and click an application, you can actually click the home button midway and it will close. I'll show you guys what I mean here. You can see that it actually does not open fully, and that's very handy if you accidentally open an application to quit it halfway, rather than waiting for the entire application to load up and then having to X out of it. Now, this actually was not in iOS 11, so it's nice to see that that is re-included in 11.1. Another new feature is new animations when opening notifications on the home screen. As you guys can see, if I click here, it actually bounces you into that application, so it's a little bit quicker, a little bit bouncier, and a new animation overall. Now, a feature I really do like is if you are at the bottom of a web page, if you click the top of the status bar, there's a new animation to the whole dragging up to the beginning. So I'll click it here, show you guys what I mean. It actually slows down at the top a little bit. It used to just snap right into it. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of a delay there. It slows down a little bit, and very nice feature. It actually is more smooth than the previous versions. Now, not a huge deal, but the feedback application is back in the developer beta of iOS 11.1. Now, I'm not sure if this is a bug or a feature, but when you actually use reachability, you can see that the entire layout of the icons actually overlaps the dock, which is a little bit strange. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that or if it will be fixed in a future beta, but that's something I noticed. Now, Assistive Touch on iOS 11.1 actually allows you to customize it, and it also opens on the bottom or the top of the screen or wherever is closest to the application now. It used to open directly in the center here, but if I drag this to the bottom, it opens at the bottom. If I drag it to the top, it opens at the top. Very nice to have it open a little bit closer to where you can access it. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually a bug as well or a new feature, but Siri actually gives you just the Touch ID icon when you actually ask to open an application on the lock screen. So I'll show you guys here. Open Settings.
Unlock your iPhone.
So as you can see, it gives you this little weird option right here. If you go ahead and click away from it, it actually gives you the option to use the passcode, as you guys can see here, but it's just a little bit weird. I hope that is fixed in a future beta as well. Now, there are still some features missing from iOS 11.1 Beta 1, and Apple Pay via messages and syncing messages over iCloud is still not available. Now, I was looking forward to both of these in iMessage. It'd be so nice to send money over iMessage as well as sync your devices all across iCloud for iMessaging, but that will just be included in a future beta. Also, the 3D touch gesture for app switching is not included yet, but Craig Federighi has said that that will be included in a future beta as well. Now, that said, there are still some bugs included in this operating system that have not been fixed yet. For example, the 3D touch lag is still present. As you guys can see, it actually lags for a second when I go to open 3D touch here on these applications. A little bit annoying, and I hope that is fixed in a future beta. There's also still a delay with the home button when closing applications. As you guys can see, The application actually is delayed when I hit the home button. Ready? 1. And then it closes. So that's a little bit of an annoyance, and I hope that is fixed as well. Like iOS 11.0.1, many of the bug fixes in this first beta are not outward facing in the UI, as they're all about security and stability, so that leads me into the performance. Honestly guys, despite what the Geekbench actually says, the performance and speed for me has been about the same. Battery's been about the same. I have not noticed much of a difference actually. iOS 11.1 I guess is a little bit quicker with certain items like unlocking the device, but it's not super notable unless you have the old firmware side by side for comparison. So anyway, that is an overview of the first beta of iOS 11.1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like on it and subscribe for more content. I do reviews of all the betas here on my channel, so be sure to stick around for those. I'll also put my Twitter, Facebook, Google+, website page, and Instagram page, along with my Patreon, in the description, so be sure to follow those to stay in touch with me. And as always guys, thank you for watching, stick around for more content, and stay awesome. I'll catch you next time. Peace.